Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to everyone. I'm going to go over another part of my Blu-ray collection. I'm not going to go in great detail unless I want to talk about the film. So I got another box here, so let's just dive right on in. The first up is a sequel of a film I've only seen the first one of. I have met the director at conventions before. He's a pretty cool guy. This is a film called Fear of Clowns 2. Again, I've never seen this one, but I've seen the first, so I definitely want to watch this sometime soon. Next up is a classic film from my childhood, Fern, Gully, The Last Rainforest. I remember seeing this in the theater back in 1992. I was 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old, depending on what month it came out. So that's cool. Next up is a documentary of two bands that I absolutely love. Filmage, the story of Descendants and All. If you guys haven't noticed, I have one of their tattoo right there, split between the two characters, Alroy and Milo. Next is a film I haven't watched yet called Flora. I think this is about December 1929 when there is a some sort of natural disaster or whatnot. So it intrigued me. Next one is a film that I've seen many times, The Fourth Kind. If you like alien films, definitely recommend that one. Classic Flatliners with Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, and Kevin Bacon. Classic. Next up is a Hammer film called Frankenstein Created Women. I haven't watched this yet, but it has Peter Cushing and a bunch of other people I'm not familiar with their names. I might know their faces. This is from 1966. Up next is a film that I do recommend people watch. I know I enjoyed it, but a lot of people had mixed reviews on it. It is Freaks with Emile Hirsch, Bruce Dern, Amanda Crew, Grace Park, and Lexi Kolker. She plays the little girl. She did a fantastic job, though, so definitely recommend this one, guys. Next up is a Criterion release. I still haven't watched it, but I will watch it. I also have the remake of this in my collection, but I haven't watched that one either. It is Funny Games. This is from 1997. It's in German with English subtitles. It's about a home invasion, and I think there's a lot of torture in this film, from what I'm understanding. Up next is an anthology from Warner Archive, From Beyond the Grave. Definitely a decent British horror anthology, so definitely recommend that one, guys. Up next is a 4K that I have not opened yet. It is a steelbook of two films that are held really dear to my heart. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Still haven't opened it. Gives a nice little rub. So yeah, classics. Still can't wait for Afterlife whenever. I don't know when that comes out this year, but hopefully soon. Up next is, I think this is also an anthology. Based on a book by Peter Straub, starring Fred Astaire, Craig Wesson, Melvin Douglas, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., and John Houseman. It is a ghost story. This is a Scream Factory release. I believe this one's out of print now, if I'm not mistaken. This is from 1981, also put out by Universal. This film, I had to go back and watch it because I don't know what the hell was going on in it. The Girl on the Third Floor. I remember it having decent, effects and whatnot, but I still need to go back and watch it. I remember CM Punk being a wrestler, correct? He's an actor as well, which I don't know if it worked out for him or not, but I'll have to rewatch this. Up next is a Scorpion releasing film from 1969 called Gully. I haven't watched this one yet, but I heard it's pretty demented. As you can see, she's holding an axe, and there is a severed head right there. I got the steelbook here of Glass, which I still have not watched. Classic 90s film, Go. Definitely have seen this before. It's been a long time since I have seen it, so I'll watch it again. Everyone rips on this movie, and I remember seeing it in the theater and enjoying it, but then again, I was 13 when this came out. Godzilla with Matthew Broderick. I remember not liking the CGI too much the second time I watched it, but whatever. We have the Green Inferno with the slip, and I don't think this version's in print anymore, but you also get the soundtrack inside as well, and then here's the track listing. I know a lot of people don't like this film. I thought it was decent, and I'm not really big on cannibal movies, so certain scenes in here are kind of, you have to look away because they look so real. So this one intrigued me, but I still haven't given it a watch yet. Greta with Chloe Grace Moretz and Isabella, what's her name? Huppert. You got a William Friedkin film here called The Guardian, starring Jenny Seagrove, Dwyer Brown, Carrie Lowell. It's based on a popular novel called The Nanny by Dan Greenberg. So I've heard this movie is pretty dark. It is from 1990. It's also another Scream Factory release. I got a classic mid-90s film here called Hackers, put out by Shout Factory. I believe this is out of print now as well. We have really young Angelina Jolie in this film, Fisher Stevens, Johnny Lee Miller, and Lorraine Bracco in this. I remember seeing this, but it's been such a long time, I need to go rewatch it. I picked this up randomly at a used bookstore, thinking it was a full-length movie, and it's actually like 25 minutes long. I haven't watched it yet, though. It is called The Halloween Girl. I think it's a short, so it's an on-demand disc from what I remember. Yeah, and it's very short. So I think I'll watch it around Halloween this year, maybe. Up next is a Code Red release with John Saxon, George Eastman, and Daniel Green, Hands of Steel. I still haven't watched this yet, but I will get around to it. We have season 1 of Hannibal. Great show. This movie, people don't really like this movie, but I thought it was decent. Happy Time Murders. People really don't like Melissa McCarthy, which I understand. She's not for everybody, but this movie is just hilariously bad. We have a Haunted House, as I showed before previously in another video. I have part 2 as well. We have the original Haunting from 1963. We have Hatchet 1, 2, and 3. And I also have 4, Victor Crowley, somewhere else. I think I put it under V. So I'll be showing that off here eventually. We have a classic film called Heathers. It's pretty good. Winona Ryder, Christian Slater, Shannon Doherty. Classic. We have the remake of Hellboy. Haven't watched it yet. I've heard mixed things about it though. But I do like David Harbour a lot, especially in Stranger Things. We have the Walmart version of Hellraiser Revelations. I haven't watched this one yet. I heard it's absolute garbage, but whatever. The one after that as well, Hellraiser Judgment. I enjoyed this film for what it was. I know it's not Doug Bradley, but I thought it was pretty good. We have Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Very, very disturbing film. I recommend it though. And we have the, what year is this from? 1953 of The Hitchhiker. Haven't watched it yet, but it was a Kino Classics release, so I figured I'd pick it up, add it to the collection. We have, I've seen this movie before. I thought it was decent. It's called The Hole, directed by Joe Dante, starring Bruce Dern, Terry Polo, Nathan Gamble, Haley Bennett, and Chris Massaglia. I guess I say his name. I thought it was decent. I haven't watched this yet, but you know, such a classic name for a horror movie. Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, starring Linnea Quigley, Gunnar Hansen, Michelle Bauer, a bunch of other people I don't know. Directed by Fred Olen Ray, and he signed the back as well, so that was a cool pickup. Classic film from Lucio Fulci, House by the Cemetery, with this nice lenticular slip. This is the 3-disc limited edition version. You get the Blu-ray with the film, a Blu-ray with extras, and the CD soundtrack by Walter Rizzati. So that's cool. Next up is a Vinegar Syndrome release of a film, an anthology film that I still have to go back and watch again because I fell asleep to this one, guys. This is from 1978. It is House of the Dead. House of the Dead. And it also goes by the name Alien Zone as well. Next up, we have a Kino release of a very stacked cast from 1983. It is House of the Long Shadows, starring Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, John Carradine, and Desi Arnaz Jr. I think there's no reversible artwork in this one, guys. I thought there was. We have House on Sorority Row, another early 80s flick that I enjoyed. We have The Hunger here with David Bowie, Susan Sarandon, and Catherine, I can't say her last name, Deneuve. A nice little, is this a vampire flick? I think this is a vampire movie. Correct me if I'm wrong. Directed by Tony Scott. I haven't watched this one yet, but it is I Am Not a Serial Killer. Put out by Scream Factory, starring Christopher Lloyd, Laura Frazier, and Max Records. This movie is terrible, but I have Incarnate. I've only seen it once, and I thought it was garbage. I might watch it one more time, and then probably take it out of the collection, but I got it at Big Lots for like $3. It came with the slip. I like Aaron Eckhart a lot, but this movie is just garbage. We have the 2-disc Blu-ray DVD, just Blu-ray, no DVD. Independence Day classic with the slip, slow slip. Still haven't watched this yet, but I heard it's pretty good. Ingrid Goes West on Blu-ray with the slipcover and the digital code. I like Bella Thorne, but I know she has a lot of movies lately that have been crap, but I Still See You with the slip. Haven't watched that yet either. Another Criterion classic here with Bela Lugosi and Charles Laughton. It is Island of the Lost Souls. I think I've seen parts of it here and there over the years, but I gotta go back and watch it again. Next up is Island of Terror from 1966, starring Peter Cushing, Edward Judd, Carol Gray, and Niall McGuinness. Haven't watched that yet either. Next up is a trilogy put out by Scream Factory, the It's Alive trilogy with It's Alive, It Lives Again, and Island of the Alive. I think I've seen the first film, but I haven't watched the other ones. We got a Quentin Tarantino film, Jackie Brown. I believe this one is also out of print. I got it used. I think I got it at Movie Stop when they were going out of business. So this one I did too. Natalie Portman and Jane Got a Gun. Haven't watched it yet either. We have Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back on Blu-ray. It's also, I think this one's this version's out of print, I believe, but I don't think they reissued it. We have Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, which I thought was fun. It's not the best Jay and Silent Bob film, but it was pretty good anyway. Let's start moving these stacks. Stacks are getting too big here. I've heard this movie is an absolute piece of garbage, but Jeepers Creepers 3 with the slipcover. I've only been able to find the DVD as of late, so I don't know if this is out of print or whatnot, but I heard it's complete crap compared to the other two. We have Jennifer's Body, classic. I know people are finding this at Dollar Tree now, and I think I paid $10 for this movie, but John dies at the end. I got it at Second and Charles a while back. Never switched out the case. This case is kind of broken and sticky. We got a Code Red release of Just Before Dawn, another early 80s slasher. I enjoyed this one though. And we have The Making of Creepshow, Just Desserts. This is a fantastic in-depth documentary about the whole movie, and you get interviews with a bunch of people associated with the film, and it goes in great depth between Romero, Savini, and King. So I definitely recommend that. That is put up by Synapse. Let's see here. Okay, we have a movie that I saw at at a drive-in, Alamo Drafthouse a couple years back, and I always wanted to pick it up on Blu-ray, so I was able to find it. Put out by SRS Cinema. It is Killing Spree. This movie is so cheesy and so ridiculous, but I love it so much. We have a British film here called Kill Your Friends. I haven't watched this one yet. We have this is the Target exclusive version of Knives Out that came with the book that Christopher Plummer's character was writing when he died. So there's that. We have an Arrow release of a film called Calabas. This was an interesting late 90s film about like a killer house. Kind of like Real World meets Saw. It was pretty fun though. I definitely recommend it. We got LA Confidential. I heard this movie's really bad, but I wanted to add it to my Texas Chainsaw Massacre collection. It is Leatherface. I haven't watched it yet. We have Leprechaun Returns, which wasn't that bad of a film compared to like Origins. So I'm glad to have it in the collection, but I really wanted Warwick Davis to come back, but he did not. So, I mean, the guy that played him now is okay. We have Lights Out. We have another Kino release of Link, I haven't watched this one yet. We have a this is put out by Kino and MGM and Scorpion Releasing. Lisa. This is a very interesting thriller from 1990. I really enjoyed it though. Definitely recommend it. Cheryl Ladd stars in this film, same thing with D.W. Moffat and Stacy Keenan. This is a throwback 80s style slasher from 2015, starring Robert Patrick. Lost After Dark. I enjoyed this one, guys. I don't know if you guys did, but I did for sure. We have a comedy here from Kino Lorber from 1998. It is Mafia. This movie is so hilarious. I definitely recommend it. You get Jay Moore, Lloyd Bridges, Christina Applegate, Billy Burke, and Olympia Dukakis. Definitely recommend that one. We have a film by Roland Emmerich, Making Contact. This movie was interesting. It's definitely not it's portrayed to be a horror film, but it's more of a fantasy action adventure film with horror elements, I suppose, but it was a fun watch. It's from 1986. It's only 79 minutes, but enjoyable. We have Maleficent. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I liked it from what I've seen. We have Mama. We have The Man Who Killed Hitler and Bigfoot with Sam Elliott. We have the 3-disc special edition of Manhattan Baby. This is another Lucio Fulci film, but I haven't watched this one yet. Right, we have The Manhattan Project, another Kino release. Haven't watched it yet, but it's got John Lithgow, Christopher Collette, Cynthia Nixon in it. And I think it's about stopping Armageddon, so that's cool. We have Marrowbone, starring Charlie Heaton, Anya Taylor-Joy, George McKay, and Mia Goth. Haven't watched that yet. We have I guess this is a film about Mary Shelley and how her life inspired Frankenstein. We have The Mask, classic. Another classic here, Meatballs. A film that I was intrigued by, but I still have yet to watch it. Mid-90s. This is Jonah Hill's, I think this is his directorial debut, I think. And we have Middle School, which I still haven't watched yet. One more stack, guys, and I'll be done here. We have a film that people tell me to watch, but I still haven't watched it yet. Midnight Special. Michael Shannon, Joel Edgerton, Kirsten Dunst, Adam Driver, and Sam Shepard. Power Rangers the movie, classic. Still haven't got number 2 yet, though. But I don't think I ever actually watched that one. We have the Mimic 3 film set. We have The Mind's Eye on Blu-ray here. I know the DVD's been showing up at Dollar Tree waves here and there. Haven't watched it yet though, but it says that it's the best Scanner sequel we never got. For what that's worth. We have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. We have Mommy and Mommy's Day, which is Mommy 2. I think they're on loose disc here. I believe we get Mommy on Blu-ray, Mommy Today on Blu-ray, and then a bonus features disc, so 3-disc set. We have a film based on Eileen Wuornos's killing spree called Monster, starring Charlize Theron and Christina Ricci. One of my favorite comedies from the early 90s with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis, that is My Blue Heaven. classic film. If you guys haven't seen this, please watch it. We have My Science Project. This is the Mill Creek release, not the Kino release, but I want to upgrade eventually because this doesn't have any extras or anything on it. It's just the movie itself. We have Sophia Lillis and Nancy Drew in The Hidden Staircase. I haven't watched this yet, but I really like her as an actress, so definitely wanted to give that a watch. We have the Friday the 13th fan film of Never Hike Alone in the nice little red case. This film is definitely one of those WTF moment films here. This is from 1989. I think this is an Australian horror film called Next of Kin. Definitely a trippy movie for sure. I say give it a watch. Let me know what you think. We have another Lucio Fulci film here called The New York Ripper. We have the director's cut version of Nightbreed with the slipcase, put out by Scream Factory. I think actually, I flipped it, so that's the original artwork on the inside, and then the reverse art is just this art here. A lot of people hate on this film, but I really enjoy it. Another Clive Barker film. Another classic film, Night of the Creeps. The good news is your date is here. The bad news is he's dead. Fred Dekker film, starring Tom Atkins, Jason Lively, Steve Marshall, and Jill Whitlow. Definitely recommend this one, guys. Here's a film that I like to watch around Easter time, even though it's not really Easter related, but it is Night of the Lepus, starring Janet Leigh, Stuart Whitman, and Rory Calhoun. Definitely a fun watch about killer rabbits. Jake Gyllenhaal film that I haven't watched, but I heard it's fantastic. It is Nightcrawler. This film I gotta watch again. I've seen it, but it's an anthology film that has gotten kind of bad reviews from 1985, put out by Vinegar Syndrome. It is Night Train to Terror. I remember it being kind of bad, but I'll give it a watch again. Here's a Gravitas Adventures horror film here. I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it's fun. It is the Night Watchman. Let's go kill some dead people, which is kind of redundant, right? How can you kill someone that's dead? But I think this is about zombies. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Bloodthirsty Vampire Clowns. So if you're interested in watching 3 people kick some bloodthirsty vampire clown ass, I guess watch it. Vampire film I found at Dollar General a few years back during Halloween time. Nocturna. This was like a couple dollars. It's a vampire film. It's during Christmas time, so I guess it's a Christmas movie, if you will. Peter Weller film, directed by George P. Cosmatos. It is of unknown origin. I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it's a really nice little creature feature from 1983. We have the Americanized version of One Missed Call. I remember enjoying it for what it was. Still haven't watched the was it Japanese version? I think it's Japanese, I believe. Dario Argento film that I absolutely loved, Opera. Definitely check that out. And people hate this movie too, but I think it has its funny moments. The Other Guys. I don't know if I need to keep this release or not, because I have it on a double feature with Dr. Giggles. It is Otis. An out of print double feature put out by Scream Factory. It is The Outing and The Godsend. I've seen The Outing, but I haven't watched The Godsend yet. The Outing was pretty cool. It's about a cursed lamp, and a genie is involved, and yeah, fun watch. And the last one in this box is a classic movie with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. It is Overboard. I have never watched the remake, and I probably never will. But this one's a classic for sure. So that's all I have for this video today. Quite a few titles to go through. Oh wait, one more. I think this version's out of print. I found it at Walmart a couple years back. It is the One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest box set. Forget what's in here. It is the so you get the movie in here. You get a lot of like inserts, some nice postcards here, and then put that back. Got a nice little book inside. Long book with like digital stills and essays and whatnot. And then oh yeah, playing cards. You get a nice little like playing card set here as well. So that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully, I hope everyone enjoys their Mother's Day. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye, guys.